so incredibly good when they were domestically powerful, right? Like, this is before they just started winning every world. It's like, this
when
was
Keria have a
2022.
winning lane, they win everything. And they win this.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Barren area, and then they fight around the dragon instead because it's a little bit less dangerous as Beryl getting the information that he can as he dashes forward. That cocoon was phenomenal, the double bomb! And before Bulldog can do anything, he is just dead!
The 2025 season has just begun, and Keria has already cooked up a new support strategy with Elise support. This season saw huge changes to the game, such as Otacon and Feats of Strength, and the meta evolved to be much faster and more about snowballing the early game, which is perfect for Elise. Elise has insane zone control and pick potential, and her cocoon can stun up to 2.4 seconds at max rank. That's nearly as long as Morgana's Q, but notice the difference between their speeds. Elise's cocoon is much faster and even catches pro players off guard. With all this said though, Elise absolutely sucks in late game teamfights. She has no AoE damage or AoE CC, so finding picks before the fight begins is her only win condition. This is incredibly difficult, and the best supports in the world constantly look to throw their opponents off guard, and never engage in regular 5v5 fights. Within the first week of the LCK, Elise has been picked 3 times by Keria, Lehends, and Beryl, 1 time each, all resulting in victories. So in this video, let's dive into how Elise support works, and how the best supports in the world gave her an undefeated record in the LCK. We first begin with Keria's Elise game against DRX. At the start of the game, DRX try to lane swap to avoid a 2v2 matchup, but Guma and Keria predict this, and they lane swap as well. Once the laning phase begins, Ondil tries to gain control of the lane by E'ing onto Guma, but this turns out to be a game-deciding blunder. Keria punishes Lazyfield with autos in a Q that takes him to 1/3 HP, and Lazyfield cannot lane for the rest of the early game. This balloons into a 22-10 CS lead for Guma, thanks to the oppressive laning phase of Caitlyn and Elise that is reminiscent of Caitlyn Lux. With such a dire situation, Sponge wants to look for a gank, but Owner knows this and he's in the area as well. Ondil is overconfident with his jungler in the area, but little does he know Owner is also here. In this 3v3, Keria gets an easy flash cocoon, and with a follow-up from Owner and Guma, they delete Ondil. 2 mistakes from Ondil and the game is basically over. At 7.5 minutes, T1 has secured 3 grubs, so they rotate Guma and Keria down bot to help Owner secure Dragon. As they crash the bot wave, Rich uses Ornn's ultimate to clear the wave, but he also uses Bellow's breath to clear more of the wave. This is a huge blunder. Not only does he waste his CC immunity spell, but using Bellow's breath also makes him slow so that once it expires, Keria can land an easy cocoon. And this is exactly what happens. Keria lands his cocoon, followed by Guma's Caitlyn trap, and they have just enough damage with Caitlyn ult and ignite to kill Rich. Another huge blunder by DRX. As a result, T1 gets 4 tower plates, and the observers then show the replay of Rich's death. But joke's on them, because during the replay, Rich died for a second time. This murder can only be shown on television with a corpse next to a destroyed tower. T1 complete Feats of Strength, and this game is just hard to watch at this point. If you're morbidly curious how Rich died, he walked back to lane, but nullified the cocoon this time with Bellow's breath. But the cocoon's stun duration is 2 seconds long, so the stun lasts even after Bellow's breath is over. Guma combos this with a Caitlyn trap, and then Rich walks into a second Caitlyn trap and dies. Afterwards, Guma and Keria rotate top again, and this time, Lazyfield gets caught out by Keria, causing DRX to lose their second turret. This game has already snowballed out of control, but Keria has no mercy for DRX. He relentlessly pushes T1's vision line, and this spot showcases Elise's strength. Ondil is sweeping vision, but as soon as his sweeper catches a glimpse of Keria, he knows he's dead. Keria pops out of the bush and is well in range for a cocoon. He waits while Ondil is nervously sidestepping, and Keria is able to get into melee range. They trade stuns, and Owner and Guma sweep in for the kill. Elise is such a scary champion to contest vision against, and Keria shows this in full display. Once turret plates have fallen, we see that T1 have gotten 13 plates, and Guma and Keria have a combined 5k gold lead on DRX's bot lane. T1 has no difficulty closing out this game in 28 minutes. Keria's win on Elise demonstrated T1's vintage Caitlyn tower demolition strategy, similar to how they destroyed teams with Caitlyn Lux by getting first turret in 6 minutes. But in this game between Nongshim and OK Bro, Lehends demonstrates how to win with Elise when the early game isn't a huge stomp. Let's take a look at this fight at Void Grubs at 10 minutes. Nongshim are first to the Grubs, and instead of helping his team DPS them, Lehends is holding ground in the bush. He knows that the element of surprise is a non-negotiable part of Elise's kit. Bro then responds with Morgan TPing into the pit, and Closer jumping into the pit with a blast plant, so Nongshim peel back. But Bro don't realize how split they are. Nongshim are firmly holding the bush, which prevents the other 3 members of OK Bro to cross the river and hit the Void Grubs. Lehends finds a max range cocoon that burns Bull's cleanse, and the Sejuani ult doesn't get much value. Hanbok then takes this time to cross the river and hit the Void Grubs, but Nongshim do not let all of Bro cross for free. Seeing Bro split, with 3 members hitting Grubs, and Bull and Palu alone, Nongshim go all in on the Bro bot lane. Lehends uses Flash and Q to gap close onto Palu, and then he ignites and procs his Electrocute, which is enough damage to kill Palu. And immediately afterwards, Lehends is called back with Kalista ult to peel for Nocturne. The Kalista ult knockup is super clutch, and Nocturne flashes away for his life. But like a Spider Queen, Lehends chases after Nocturne and kills him with Repel Q. The zone control and picks that Lehends made allowed them to win this fight. A pick from the same bush happens once again at 20 minutes. Nongshim starved OK Bro of so much vision at Otacon that Bro has no choice but to have someone face check for vision. Palu is a sacrificial lamb for Bro, which was all in vain because Nongshim gets Otacon anyways. This vision denial playstyle from Lehends and Nongshim is exactly how you play Elise support. In the late game, Elise has a much harder time finding creative picks, but in this moment, Lehends sees an opportunity to catch Bull out of position. Kingen is flanking from the right side, so Lehends walks super aggressively into the range of 3 OK Bro members. However, Lehends misses his cocoon on Palu, which he has no business stunning anyways. Lehends gets even more desperate and he repels onto Closer even with no cocoon, and he gets massively chunked. Bro then re-engage onto Smolder, and the fight looks super good for them, but killing Smolder just isn't enough. Nongshim were so far ahead on gold that Kingen and Jiwoo were able to clean up the fight and salvage Lehends' int play. In this game, Lehends made some good plays early game, but his Elise fell off late game. But of course, this is when Smolder takes over the game, and Nongshim come out on top. In Beryl's Elise game, he had a very rough early game. He played to Elise's win conditions by constantly looking for picks, but he was punished time and time again, such as this gank attempt that was countered by Pyosik. And after respawning, Beryl runs to Void Grubs and tries to secure vision for D plus Kia. But even with Lucid and aiming around to defend him, Beryl is still overextended, and the DN freaks look to hunt down the hunter. Beryl is forced to repel to dodge a Nautilus hug, just as Dudu begins to channel his teleport. And with nowhere to run, Beryl flashes defensively and DN freaks go for the chase. Dudu aggressively hops over the wall and throws autos at Beryl with a rage bar that is almost full. So Beryl has no choice but to turn on Dudu, and he goes for a stun combo that basically does no damage. Dudu then gets a clean flash Mega Gnar ult that gets 2 kills on Beryl and Lucid. This fight shows how delicate it is to play Elise. If you are aggressed upon, Elise has very little peel to offer. Beryl's Elise continues to struggle to find value at this Otacon fight. D plus Kia starts Otacon, but Berserker's Ashe Hawkshot spots everyone. This makes Beryl's surprise factor basically non-existent. How on earth is he going to make a pick now? The DN freaks are patiently waiting for Dudu to join them with his TP, and once he arrives, they begin to close in on D plus Kia. And Berserker starts a fight with an Ashe arrow that is lined up to hit either Aiming, Beryl, or Lucid. Aiming tries to arcane shift to dodge it, but is slightly too late, and he is forced to cleanse the Ashe arrow, otherwise he would be flicked by Bulldog's flanking Talia. D plus Kia's backs are against the wall now. They have taken so much damage and the resistances are shredded from Otacon. They have to act now or they will slowly die one by one. Siwoo first gets deleted by Dudu's Gnar, and in the meantime, Beryl tries to make something happen by flash cocooning the flanking Talia. But Bulldog has hands, and he dodges the cocoon with his own flash. Life then lands a hook onto Lucid, and Showmaker is forced to use Chrono Shift to save him. D and Freaks have pushed D plus Kia out of the Otacon pit, and they are in a great spot to secure the Otacon buff. But what do D and Freaks do? They get greedy, and they look to go aggressive again after Bulldog gets a 3-man flick. However, Showmaker gets a clutch double bomb stun that punishes the D and Freaks. Aiming also gets a solo kill into Bulldog, and the fight ends up positive for D plus Kia. Not from Beryl's Elise, but honestly, from the greed of the D and Freaks. What could have been Otacon GA buffs for everyone resulted in buffs for no one. Beryl continues to get caught over and over again, and he is single-handedly responsible for over half of D plus Kia's deaths. But despite his super rough game on Elise, Beryl does not stop playing to Elise's win conditions. All it takes is just one crucial pick to win the game, and that's exactly what Beryl does. Both teams on A are aiming, and Beryl instinctively looks for a pick angle off on the side. And sure enough, Bulldog tries to poke from an angle that he believes is safe thanks to the control ward. And once Beryl sees the missed seismic shove, he knows this is the pick opportunity of a lifetime. Beryl immediately turns around and uses Protobelt Cocoon that weaves past Pyosik and stuns Bulldog. With a single Cocoon, Showmaker flashes forward to combo his double bomb stun, and Siwoo throws his Equalizer to delete Bulldog. And just like that, the game is over. Beryl, who was 2-9, made the game-winning play on support Elise. D plus Kia then run it down mid and end the game, resulting in a 2-0 series win against D and Freaks. Elise's playstyle is very similar to Blitzcrank. Your kit is essentially defined by one ability which can swing an entire game. It doesn't matter what your KDA is, just don't stop trying to look for picks, and surely you'll find one. Elise has only been picked into LCK so far, and we shall see if other regions also adopt the Elise support strategy, or is it only reserved for the most creative LCK teams? What is your opinion of Elise support? Do you like the all or nothing playstyle she brings? Let me know in the comments. If you like analytical content like this, please hit the like and subscribe button for more. I also have a Discord server where you can chat with me and other analytical viewers. The link is in the description below. Take care, and see you in the next video.